All right. So, wow, man. Josh Warrington suffers his first loss, all right? But here's what I find funny about this. I mean, it's not funny that he suffered his first loss or anything, but check this. You got people, you know, with pretty good sense of humor. Shout out to my man Eddie Sasa. Yeah, the coach spiked his water. His costume was too heavy. Laura had egg weights in his gloves. Yeah, okay. He suffered his first loss. So is this going to be the new trend? Of course, this right here is it's just sarcasm. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, I don't think Josh is I mean, sorry that Josh Warren is going to make these type of excuses. He know what he did wrong. He went in to the fight with Lara, who was, I believe, a last minute replacement, but he went inside this fight, trying to mix it up with the puncher. Okay, I mean, if you know, like I know, Josh Warrington is not a puncher. He doesn't have a lot of power in his arsenal, his punches to keep other boxers at bay. I mean, the guy has what 30 something fights with only 7 stoppages. Okay, and Mauricio Lara, with 22 fights with like 15 knockouts. So Lara has more pop, than you know Josh Warrington and everything. Okay, so that counts on it. Now, Laura also, not Laura, but Warrington also said, he should have boxed, stayed on the outside, but not really because he was getting caught on the outside as well. I mean, with some, very odd hooks and whatnot, that Laura was throwing. He still was catching them. Plus, Laura, he has that excellent footwork that kept, he kept cutting off the ring and everything on, Josh Warrington. So really, he was a dead man in there, like really, no matter what he did. Now, if you look at, Josh Warrington's opponents and whatnot, he really never faced a puncher before. Okay, so it's like, he kind of lies in the same bed with Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? Like Deontay Wilder, like okay, I say like what Bermain Stavern maybe. He was okay and skilled, but the majority of his fights, he never had you know, real competition. Okay. I mean, I understand he got that one punch knockout power. Yes, Deontay Wilder got some deadly power and everything, and it took him, a very long way. But come on, I mean, it's like his real opponent, like the guy with, real skills, was Tyson Fury. Okay, now understands that the big Cuban dude, Ortiz and everything. All right, he was somewhat skilled and everything, but he tired out and whatnot. And that's all Wilder did. Wilder kind of reminded me of Homer Simpson when he became a boxer. When Homer Simpson was in the ring with his opponents, he'll let his opponents tire out and then hit them, okay, and put him out. He was fighting hobos and whatnot. However, when he went up against this guy called Drederick Tatum, I guess who was a supposed to be Mike Tyson, Homer tried to stand there and take his shots, but he couldn't. You hear his wife out there saying, "Homer, he's not going to get tired." No, because he was the real deal. He was the professional. You know what I'm saying? This guy had, power. And he had the boxing skills. Okay, he was the first man to beat Homer and whatnot. So yeah, kind of the same thing with Josh Warrington. Now Josh Warrington, he has taken on boxers with skill, but he never took on boxers with power. Okay, likes Mauricio Warrington. He never took on any killers. So he really didn't know what to do. So yeah, he was kind of looking like, it's kind of looking like Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? So, I wouldn't be, shocked if he had the same excuses as Wilder. Oh yeah, and by the way, the ref, his cornerman threw in the towel too soon and whatnot. Who knows? He might end up firing his cornerman now. Yeah, but we all seen what happened. Okay, look, Josh Warrington just couldn't keep Mauricio Lara off of him. Okay, and I seen Josh Warrington hit Mauricio Warrington with some real good shots. Okay, I mean I seen Mauricio Warrington's chin almost touch his back. Okay, I mean he was getting hit with some real good shots. All right, but he wasn't going nowhere because Josh Warrington doesn't have the pop. So, look, some people say, was it because of inactivity that he had lost, or he wasn't prepared for Mauricio Lara, 'cause since he was like a last minute, replacement and everything. Who knows? It just could be that this was the first hard hitter he faced with excellent footwork who can cut off the ring on him. You know what I mean? And get him up out of there. But like I said, before, hey, Josh Warrington, he will be back. He will learn off of this loss. But what I also noticed that after a fighter loses to a knockout, like Josh Warrington, somewhere in the future, they will continue to lose by knockout, such as Jermaine Taylor when he first got stopped. All right. Kelly Pavlik, he ended up getting stopped again. Okay. Getting knocked out again. I mean, all his losses came by knockout. All right. Carl Froch. All right. And then with Chico Diego Corrales. Okay. The majority of his losses came by knockout after he had lost to Floyd Mayweather by knockout or stoppage because, the fight was stopped. But saying this, Diego Corrales was never dropped in his career until he faced Floyd Mayweather. And then after that, he, started getting dropped. Same thing with Ricky Hatton. Okay. So, yeah, this could be a thing in the future of Josh Warrington fights. If he ever, take on another punch, he could end up getting knocked out again. Same thing with Wilder. Right. Now, before I go, I just want to say one thing. A lot of fans say that Shakur Stevenson should be in line for Mauricio Lara, but Lara, he's a featherweight. Shakur Stevenson, he fights at super featherweight. So more likely, hey, look, he has a name for himself now, Mauricio Lara, that is, and if he's going to move up to super featherweight to take on Shakur Stevenson, I think that'd be a pretty good strap for Stevenson. Some people say that Shakur Stevenson will duck him. I don't think so. Shakur Stevenson, he has some pop and he can box. Okay, I think that'll be a real good fight for Shakur Stevenson. So, hey, let me know your thoughts on this. And this is CMD Boxing Reports, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.